We're having less technical difficulties than Mo and I last week.
Yeah, this was just like a very specific thing
Yeah, but
that I could have easily remedied. Okay, we're live, pal.
are we live, pal?
We're live,
Wow.
pal. You're still in the newsroom too. You had to just take a second to
Ah!
get
I
to the
have to get out of the
newsroom.
newsroom. I have to get out of the newsroom before everyone sees. Oh, jeez. Everyone's going to think I'm in the newsroom. Choose background effect. I could put. What about Blur? Oh, Blur is nice.
Oh, you're into Blur, huh? I don't like it. I don't like that it cuts off any part of you.
No, but don't you like the? It feels like a rave now.
Well, if anybody's still watching, we'll poll at some
Of
point.
course,
But
they're going to
whatever
still
you
watch. We're
want.
supportive of each other. They're supportive of us. Don't leave us. Turn your brightness up on your computer.
I did, didn't I? Yeah, I
Oh,
did.
okay, it is good. You're just standing far away. Let's get Audacity going one more time.
Okay, I'm ready to press record when you are.
3, 2, 1, record. Excellent, excellent. I'm just gonna pull up our feed just to make sure that we're live and everyone's back in. Swizz, if you're here, don't be upset at us. And Tony, don't be upset at us. All right? We have some technical difficulties sometimes. This is what happens with Loser Leaves Wrestling. It's part of our allure. It's part of our charm. Joe's in the chat. Please
Yeah.
don't cut out again. Otherwise, I'll need to watch Rhodes go to the top. Yeah, Rhodes needs to go over the top and get eliminated from the Rumble. Very good. And don't do that, Joe. Swizz
Yeah,
the
don't do that, Joe.
return.
Here we are.
I feel like that's how we
We
should
made
be.
it.
We should talk about it when we do return. It's just like, yeah, we're like the Strikes Back or something. We're making
Yeah,
it real
there
sexy.
you go. It's weekly. We're striking back
We
weekly.
are technically restarting the podcast as well, so we're gonna just talk about. Hey, welcome to
Let's
Loser
do it.
Leaves Wrestling. Loser Leaves Wrestling, and this is the woo woo woos and what? I can't do it. We're figuring it
Really
out.
good.
And my name is Red Jefferson, and I'm here with Roy Lazowitz. We just had some technical difficulties. How do you feel about that?
It's frustrating. It's frustrating to me because it was an easy fix. But actually, it feels kind of good at the same time because for the first time, it was an easy fix. It wasn't like, well, I guess we'll figure it out.
Sure.
Time to post on
Sure.
Reddit. It was like I forgot to connect the second computer to my internet.
And you wouldn't
So
have known that like 4 weeks ago. You're learning.
it's true.
We're all learning.
We're learning.
Tony says wrestling fans don't leave. Yeah, I've had them over for pay-per-view parties. They don't. S says I like the glitches. It's edgy. Y'all are real, like an indie film. This is an indie film.
This is an indie
We're
film.
the Jim Jarmusch's of content. I don't know.
That's my favorite director.
Yeah, I know he is. That's why I mentioned it. He's doing like
That's
nice
really
little
nice.
callback.
You're a nice pal.
I'm all right. Welcome to Loser Leaves. We're going to talk about AEW Dynamite. This is the
Yeah.
woo-woo-woos and woods of AEW Dynamite. And we just finished the Brody Lee tribute episode. They're in Rochester, New York. Right off the top of the bat. How you feeling tonight about Brody Lee?
I miss Brody Lee.
Mm-hmm.
I miss Brody Lee. I think Brody Lee's excellent.
Yep.
I don't know how real we can get in here, but one of my
Oh, they
fondest
like
and
it.
best
They just
memories
talked about it like real.
of Brody Lee is actually watching Brody Lee when he was Luke Harper with you and your friends in a basement of someone's when we watched that 6-man tag between the Wyatts and the Shield. And I was thinking about that tonight as we were watching the show.
Juicy's Basement. Who's
Yeah,
getting
Juicy's Basement.
married next week? They're gonna have a beautiful
Happy
wedding,
marriage.
and I'm gonna be flying there with no money. Not a dime to my name. Not a dime. Hey, we're gonna be. Let's talk about woos. Let's talk about woos.
Yeah.
Let's talk about right off the bat. Biggest woo in wrestling, right, in AEW. What is the biggest woo for you tonight?
That's actually really tough because I think Smiz, everybody kind of like someone on a weekly basis chimes in and says, gonna be a hard time finding what's tonight. It was a great
I
show.
have plenty of was.
I don't. I think this was a great show.
Oh,
I think that I have moments. I definitely have moments that are what's, but like there was no segment from start to finish that was a what for me. I thought the show was paced really well. I thought they did a good job of getting a lot of people on the show. My biggest woo overall tonight, and this is an unconventional woo because it's not like a specific segment. I love AEW's ability. They do it on a weekly basis, but they did a really, really good job tonight. These little video promos of all of these different people. They're short, they're sweet, they get to the point. I want to fight this person, or I'm in the company, or I'm going to fight in this match. That's all we need.
yeah, yeah. I think
And
that's a
they
great
do
idea.
it so well.
I do like it, but that is actually in my what's a little bit. and I'm going to talk a
Oh.
little bit about it. Not necessarily the content, because I like them. I love the fact that they're keeping us reintroduced. But I guess let's just talk about it. My
Yeah.
one of the what's that I have for tonight is the fact that we had. We shouldn't. They were ruining the whole format of the show. But the
What? Do whatever you
no,
want.
yeah. Okay, fine. There's one women's match tonight. It's one women's match tonight. It's Ty Conte, Anna Jay versus
Yeah.
Penelope Ford and the Bunny. And
Bunny, yeah.
this is it's just an ongoing thing. There's one women's match. No in-ring presence of Britt, Jade, Velvet, Swole, Layla, Statlander, Riot, Thunder Rosa, Nyla. And the people that they put in there are just because they could fit the most women in that match with a tag team. It feels very. And the issue I have with those video packages, it feels like a crutch. It's a crutch not to use women on the show because the majority of those segments are women talking about how they're not on the show. We had Rio, we had Swole, we had Thunder Rosa, Nyla, Riot. They all had those backstage little moments.
Did Red Velvet have a segment?
Not
Did
Velvet.
I miss that?
That was a big mistake by me. That was not.
Oh, I was just making sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, yes, I agree with that, and I generally do agree with all of what you're saying. I will say this: the tag match tonight. My issue with the tag match is that they put that. There's like one commercial break in the entire show that isn't picture in picture, and it was in the middle of the women's match. Really frustrating.
Yeah.
But that's the first tag match that they've had on Dynamite in a while. So, and it had a reason. Everybody fought in singles matches, and now they're in a tag. So that was good. I will say a big woo for me is, and it's not on the show, but the triple threat match on Rampage. It's the second triple threat match in the entire history of the company. There's only ever been one other triple threat match. And it's no disqualification, and I think it's going to be really good and exciting. I like that. I recognize that there is only one women's match, and that's the issue that we have every week. Mm-hmm. I know. But I will say, without counting Jamie Hayter and Rebel, there were still 11 women on the show tonight in some capacity.
A backstage segment. I feel like
that counts to me.
That doesn't count to me. That no longer.
Those segments though are meaningful. They mean something. Serena Deeb is one of my biggest woos.
No, that is good. I 100% love the Deeb and Rio thing, and not Rio, Shida. My bad. Shida, but she looked great in that promo segment. She looked amazing.
Yeah, they both looked great.
And Serena Deeb is amazing, and I'm just so glad that she's back in some capacity. It's just that made sense because they're both returning next week. They're hyping it up for them just to not put women on, just be like, well, Riot, you're not on this week, so say why you're angry or why you're upset, why you should have it feels very cheap, easy way to cram women in there without actually investing in them.
Well, I think Ruby specifically is in there the same way that they crammed CM Punk in there tonight. Like, she's one of the new free agents. She's a big draw. She's really popular. We have to have her on in some capacity.
Have her in the damn ring rather. Okay, we're going to be jumping too much now. We're going to get back to this. Right. We're going to go
Take
to the
it
woo.
easy. This is interesting.
That was an interesting woo. That was a very interesting number one woo. My number one woo is Adam Cole versus Jungle Boy.
Also fantastic. Yeah.
It's Adam freaking Cole. Adam Bebe Cole. What is it? Adam Cole Bebe and Jungle Boy. First off, great matchup physically. Amazing matchup. And those two specifically are the epitome of a perfect babyface and a perfect heel.
Yep.
Like, Jungle Boy is perfect in that role of being just this, like, you want to root for him. He's hard fucking hitting. And Adam Cole, he does the things that make you want to boo him. He's a shithead guy. And thank God they didn't bring him in as a face, because that's the easy thing to do. And they had this great match. And Adam Cole won with a low blow. With a low blow, which I love.
Yeah.
An actually cool way of doing it, even if the refs saw it, they wouldn't disqualify him. What are your thoughts on the match, Oyster?
I thought it was a fantastic match. I agree with everything you're saying. I felt like the low blow, I mean, it's like the low blow followed by the knee is technically like cheating to win, but like the way the match was laid out with Cole being the like veteran heel who's outsmarting and not taking Jungle Boy very seriously, and then Jungle Boy fires up. It scares Adam Cole, so he cheats to win. It all felt very natural. It flowed very well. It also built very well. It wasn't 1,000 miles an hour out of the gate. They got to that point. They earned it. The crowd was behind them the whole way. And I felt like the whole like ref getting in the middle of it and doing all of that normally, like not normally, but sometimes that can feel kind of clunky.
Sure.
But it fit perfectly. The flow was great, and I also loved there was no interference. It was just the two of them the whole time, and I loved that. Yeah, it was great. It was really good.
Great job. Excellent job. I was pretty happy with it. And also something to note from that is that I feel, and I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of flack from our listeners about this, that we have some comments I forgot to look at. I'm going to get some flack from our viewership about this. WWE Leftovers upping the match quality big time. I'm sorry, the Bryan Danielson match, the Adam Cole match, these people that are coming over from WWE are raising the match quality. And I'll say it because you know what they're doing? They're smart. They're smart. They're not just doing everything they have. They're building slow. Adam Cole is not giving you every single thing in this match that he has, unlike some people.
You're out of your mind
no,
for that comment.
Let's talk some things in here. Smiz says some what's tonight. Smiz says the video promos are good and they do more on YouTube on the road to Dynamites. Yes, very good. And I really love those on the roads.
Really good.
Very good. Joe writes, biggest what MJF going for? You're skipping. We fucked up the format. Now people are talking about their what's Royster. Joe writes, biggest what MJF going for a really cheap heat, going for the low blow on the man's dead uncle. Jesus, he is much better than this. I don't think he is, Joe.
We'll get back to that, Joe. I've got some thoughts about that.
Tony says Cole was alone, no shenanigans, only heel stuff. Yeah, amazing. Love that. Love it to death. Cole kind of gave me a Triple H feeling. Lol, very true. He does have a Triple H kind of like snarl to him. He's got that snarl a little bit. Smiz, I feel like it might be because they have more talent, so don't have to fill the show with worse wrestlers. Yeah, that's true. There's a lot less private party going on.
Okay.
All right.
Hold on a second. First of all, they were on the show.
Let's get out of the hot tub. Yeah, we'll talk about their involvement with the show later. Joe writes, big time Adam Cole and Danielson are great. That's not a WWE thing, though they learned that on the indies.
Thank you, Joe.
Oh, hold on.
Thank you, Joe.
They learned how to perform in front. They're not wrestling like they did on the indies. They are not. Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson. I'm sorry. They wrestle completely different than they did then because they're wrestling slower, smarter. They're taking their time because that's how you build a match. That's how you build matches is by letting people digest. It's just like stand up. If you just spit everything out rapid fire, no one hears anything.
Look, I don't disagree with the pacing, but I will tell you, Adam Cole maybe not because he never made it to the main roster, but Bryan Danielson is not wrestling like he did in the WWE. He's doing moves that they did not allow him to do. And his intensity, he's hitting harder, he is moving quicker, but he's more methodical. He's a technical wrestler. He's an actual professional wrestler now.
And I'll agree with you. I am agreeing with you that he's not wrestling like he did as Daniel Bryan. He's not. He is wrestling a hybrid style of Bryan Danielson and Daniel Bryan. He is not wrestling the same way he did as the original American Dragon. He is slower in a good way, not in not like no lack of energy or anything like that. He is keeping up, but it's just like it's a thought out pace. He's interacting. He's reaching in and grabbing the crowd and bringing them in, and that's WWE. WWE.
That's the only difference.
Brings the crowd in.
He's no longer just a technical wrestler. He's a technical wrestler who knows how to connect fully with an audience, even more so than maybe in Ring of Honor.
That's what
I'm not disagreeing with that.
I'm not saying that WWE is better wrestling. I'm saying WWE can make very good indie wrestlers amazing. They could make them amazing. We got some problems here. Here we go. Swiz, whoa, big private party fan here. I'm not mad at private. It's just I don't think they understand how to put a match together. I don't think they understand. Tony, Bryan is an ROH guy. He was. Is the ROH guy he was. Yeah, he is more that Danielson than he was in WWE. I agree. Joe writes, Red's not wrong, but those are two examples of great indie guys who learned the WWE style, not molded by it. That's fair as well. I'm not saying WWE creates great wrestlers. I don't think that's true. I think they are very good at harnessing energy. You know what I mean, Royster?
Yeah, yes. I'm sorry. I was distracted because the YouTube is saying something to me. It's fine.
Oh, what
We're
is it
okay.
saying? Is it bad?
We'll find out. Don't worry about it.
Let
Let's
us
keep going.
know. Let us know, friends. But here's we got some more Swiss, but there's non-WB guys who have come into their own, like Dante Martin. Dante Martin hasn't really proven anything yet.
Hold on a second. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, let's go.
But you're right. Swiz is not wrong. But Dante Martin is not there yet. But to bring it back to the show, let's talk about real quick MJF's talking about these pillars of AEW.
Sure.
4 guys who have come into their own since joining the company in their own ways. The one guy of the 4 who I think is hold on one second.
Something happened. Should I vamp?
Yeah, vamp.
Oh, sure. I'll vamp. Well, I'm going to read off these comments. Don't give the credit to WWE. Give the credit to Brian for evolving. Okay, well, the thing is, he evolved because of the environment he was in. You have to give credit to both. You have to give credit to both.
You do have to give credit to both.
And I'm not saying WWE deserves the credit for him getting better. WWE put him in an environment and told him to do things in a specific way that made him better. It's kind of like saying, like, yeah, I'll stick by that. I'd like that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. There was for a second, but now it says the stream's in excellent condition. But now it says the stream isn't in excellent condition. So we're just going to see what happens. This is very weird. This has not happened before. So I apologize to everybody.
Oh, we're seeing there's some glitchiness here. There is some glitchiness, but hopefully it pans out. I turned off my Wi-Fi for this very specific reason. Let's see how we sound.
Condition, but now it says the stream isn't in excellent condition. See, it's like okay, but this is very weird. This has not happened before.
Oh, we're back in.
So I apologize.
We're back in. Yeah. We're back in completely. Okay, now let's move on. You said you were talking about MJF and the 4 pillars. Yeah, I think that's a good example of people who have evolved and come into their own. Jungle Boy isn't who he was 2 years ago. MJF isn't who he was 2 years ago. Yeah. There's a lot of people who have evolved. And I mean, even a guy like Hangman, who's not on the show right now, but Hangman has definitely evolved and become a much better wrestler, and his presence has grown significantly since the start of the company. So I mean, there are people who have evolved. I'm not saying that them performing every week on live TV isn't making them better, and they're facing great wrestlers and they're doing great things. I'm saying that the overs that are coming in right now, they are going to make them exponentially better. That's my thought process, Royster.
Yeah, I agree.
So, I feel like Bryan Danielson, Adam Cole, they're just going to up everyone's game. Don't get mad at me. Don't hate the player. Smith says it's pretty okay. And that's what we're looking for, pretty okay. We're going to have to go by the fans, Royster. Smith was first one in the pool today, and he's the babysitter of the show. They are going to have to let us know if we're fucking up too much. Want to talk about the MJ promo a little bit?
Yeah, let's do it.
So they mentioned the 4 pillars. And it was a good promo. He brought up the 4 pillars thing, which I really enjoyed. He wants to go after the AEW championship, which makes sense for his character to want. Mention the 4 pillars. Let's go over them real quick and what your thoughts are. We got Jungle Boy, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
We got Darby Allin, of course.
Absolutely, 100%.
MJF names himself, sure.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Sammy Guevara?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess
they made sure that tonight.
Yeah, they did. They sure did, which we'll talk about.
Yeah, it's going to be what?
Oh, interesting. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, I think it also is because the whole idea behind the actual, like the original 4 pillars of Misawa, Kobashi, Kawada, and Taue in All Japan in the 90s, Kawada specifically lost every one of his matches for the first 2 years he was in the company. He just kept losing. He would fight, and then he would lose. Sounds a lot like Jungle Boy to me.
Sure.
I don't know. And then Misawa was kind of the standout and was the first person to kind of break out, and he was also a little crazy and kind of put his body at risk and eventually died in the ring because of it. Sure. And sounds a lot like Darby Allin to me.
Yeah.
And then Kawada was this like hard-hitting heel who was really hated. Sounds like MJF. And then there was Taue, who was, whatever.
I'm not
Sounds a
saying
lot like Sammy to me.
we're going to talk a lot about Sammy in a little bit.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was and I guess those are the four people that I would associate with their young up and coming guys.
Sure.
MJF also name dropped Bruce Pritchard, which was pretty fun.
Yeah, that's fun. I don't have a problem with that.
I was
honestly.
really happy with that.
I like that CM Punk said that everyone has Bruce Pritchard on speed dial.
Yeah, 100%. That was very funny. But then Darby came out, and let's just say business remained mellow. didn't really get up. Darby, bless his heart, is not necessarily ready for these type of sparring sessions with MJF. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think the common theme here is that it seems like all of these guys go out to like have this promo with him and they're immediately like intimidated and they're trying to figure out how to navigate this. And they're thinking a lot about it. So instead they really just don't say a lot.
Sure.
They just kind of stand there.
That's fair.
But to go back to what Joe said about how it was kind of a low blow and it was cheap, my gut reaction was to feel the same way, that they kind of went a little too fast there to immediately go to the whole dead uncle thing. But the way I see it, looking like forward, is that it's going to drive MJF a little crazy that he can't break Darby Allin mentally. So we're going to see week over week him trying and escalating and doing crazier and more likable things. I'm into it. Let's build it.
You hear that, Joe? Royster said,
"Yeah, I think it's going to. I 100% think it's going to get worse."
And I don't necessarily think it's because honestly, I really am curious how much leeway MJF is allowed from the people he's with to go that far. I'm really curious if he talked to Darby beforehand, being like, "Hey, I'm going to talk about your uncle." I wonder, because I'd be shocked if they surprised him in that manner of doing that.
Yeah.
But who knows? I don't know. We have some comments here. Tony says, "Yeah, well, elevate the talent. They have hardly. There's no room in losing to Bryan or Cole." Very good point, Tony. There is no harm, and it makes them look better as well. Yes, the W guys are certainly making the product better. Also bring more eyeballs, which is super important. Very true, Joe. I like that point. Tony writes, yeah, you could clearly see Bryan was even a step up on Omega, but it made Omega look so good. Exactly my point, because Omega is very talented. He has all the tools, but he hasn't had that WWE polish yet. You know what I'm talking about? That real extra shine on them skills. And that's what it does. Joe writes, how does it escalate from here? Katie Vick? Okay. Okay. All right. Well, maybe. Who knows? Who knows what Darby Allin's done in his past? We don't know yet. MJF's going to find out. Royster, what's your next biggest woo of the evening?
Good question. Jeez. God. Okay, go for it. Go for it. Okay.
It's a combo. Well, actually, it was a what at first. But then I realized it and it all became clear. Shoddy Lee and Cody versus Dante Martin and Matt
I'm excited
Sydal.
about this. I'm excited to hear your opinion.
So I can't wait to talk about this. I was thinking about it at this entire time. And I wrote down immediately, Cody has to be aware. I wrote it down at the beginning of the match, him coming out and doing that long entrance, and then the Shoddy Lee just coming out in the background, no real entrance for him, and then they all come out, comes with his wife. He knows what type of reaction this is going to get. I was talking to Mowat a little bit about this last week, about the fact that Mowat thinks that Cody was not expecting the Malachi Black reaction. That Malachi Black was going to get this big positive reaction and Cody was going to be booed. I think he knew it was going to happen. I think he's known it's going to happen. I think this has been building for a year now, and he didn't want to turn heel last year because there was no fans in the audience. And he thought he could milk it more, which he could. Now it's at a point where he's overdoing it. And so Cody and Shoddy Lee win this match. They win the match. Lee wins it for them. And then Arn cuts one hell of a promo on Cody. Basically saying, like, the difference between me and you is that if your man pulls over your car, gets hijacked, you're going to be like, oh, no, don't come after me. Don't hurt me. I pull out a gun. and put it to his head, splatter his brains out.
So intense. Take it easy, Aaron.
Jesus
Take
Christ,
it
Arn. No,
easy.
it was perfect. He would. I wrote down Arn will kill.
Yeah, you
Arn will
will.
kill. What did you think of the? What did you think of the match and then the post-match promo? Because I think they're
Yeah,
dual.
I didn't care about the match very much. I thought it was fine. I loved when the thing is, Shoddy Lee Johnson is a good wrestler, but he doesn't inspire me to believe that he's like really intense or anything, and like his personality is still kind of being developed. So to watch him like grab Cody by the trunks, pull him in, tag him, and just take control, I was like, okay, Shoddy Lee, all right, it was nice.
Yeah.
And the promo afterwards was great. I'm not sure how do you like, my only fear is that Cody is like, oh, but now like Arn cut a promo where he said he shoots people in the head, so like that makes him the bad guy, and I'm still the good guy. Now I'm like on my own, and now I gotta like figure out how to win on my own. I don't have a coach anymore, so I have to rediscover myself as a wrestler, and I'm gonna go on this journey with the fans. It's gonna be great because I'm completely not self-aware at all.
I I think that's perfect. He should do that. He should constantly ignore the fans' response, and that is the biggest heel move you can make. He is going to be the ultimate heel because he is totally unaware that he's heel and he's doing all these babyface tropes. Everyone
Yeah.
around him is aware. Everyone around him, the fans, Arn, his wife eventually, and he'll be like, no, I got to do it for the fans. They want me out there. And he just continues it. He is being John Cena.
Interesting. Yeah, that's really good.
He is creating a new John Cena. It's brilliant. I have never been so happy. Where after that, like even in the middle of it, I started to see it a little bit. And then the Arn promo, love it. He's gonna go off the deep end. I'm very excited if they do this. If they do this, honestly, they could go any way with this, and I'm gonna be happy because no matter which way they go, the fans
Yeah.
are gonna boo.
Yeah, that's true. And Brandy's also like a heat-seeking missile. So you put those two together.
Oh my god! I want her to flip off everyone. I want her to come in and get in the ring, sit cross-legged across CM Punk, and give him the finger. Oh, eat it up.
Yeah.
Eat it up. We got some comments here. Malachi is clearly still in their heads. Yes, Tony, I agree that they are still in their heads, but I think it's beyond that right now. As I mentioned, he's going for the John Cena thing. He's going for I'm a super soldier, super AEW champ #1. Then Swizz writes, I hope Cody goes crazy and goes heel and gets his hair black because he can't be a blonde hair heel. What do you think of that, Royster? Do you think he has to have black hair?
No, I think the blonde hair is so obnoxious. It works well with his neck tattoo.
That gross ass tattoo. Disgusting. Arn went full horseman.
He sure
You're damn
did,
right
yeah.
he did, Tony. I don't know if the horseman ever threatened to splatter anyone's brains on the street before. Maybe that's something Tully said one time after hours. S says, and didn't just say gun. He said Glock. It was the most gangster and old fat white guy has looked in a long time.
Yeah,
Very
seriously.
good point, S. That was pretty. It was honestly that was one of the Arn should get a baby face run after that. Tony, no matter which way you spice it up, Cody, no matter which way it spice it up the Cody character, it's already spiced. That's the thing we haven't seen. Do you understand what I'm saying, Roy? Do you see how it's already been marinating and now like he's just like ignoring, he's obviously ignoring it. He's coming out to this baby face, think about me like entrance. How could he not have been planning this for
I hope so.
years?
I mean, I think a part of me wonders if he's been waiting to turn heel until his reality show debuts. And now that it's debuted, he's like, great, all bets are off. I can be a bad guy now. I don't know. But the thing is, it could go either. Ooh, I just hit the mic. It could go either way. It could be a situation where he's like, I'm setting it all up, and here I come. Here comes the heel turn. Or it could legitimately be, I'm a big dumb idiot who has no idea. Like, I'm very tone deaf, and I don't know what the crowd wants. Oops. Like, that's the thing, is that this Roads to the Top show is going to be really interesting to watch, to see how aware he is of all of the stupid things he's done. Like in the commercial with the weigh-in, and he's like, that's the worst segment ever. He's aware that it was terrible. Yeah. So maybe it is leading to an actual heel turn. Who knows?
It's not a heel turn. It's not even a heel turn. That's the great thing. That's something that WWE would never have done. is let John Cena still be him and get booed and kind of almost like play into it just enough where it keeps happening and the fans no longer cheer, but still be himself. Like I think this is a really interesting place.
My only
What do you
issue with
thoughts?
that
What
is
do you
that I
think?
think Cody's going to do that, but then it so could easily go in this direction of like he's the Phantom of the Opera, and he comes out with like half his like a mask on half his face, and he's like, "No one loves me." Oh, that's terrible.
Love it, love it. Give it to me. Give it to me. We got one here. Roy's right. Cody is still making himself the hero of the Codyverse. I don't think it's as meta as you think it is, Red. It's gonna be way more cringe than you think. I don't think the AEW audience would allow it. They've already shown that they have no problem booing him out of the building. Let him do this. He'll be the hottest heel in the company if he keeps going like this.
He's not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yeah. Yeah.
Right? We're all not wrong. Joe writes, I hope you're right about Rhodes. John Cena, perfect. You're damn right, John Cena, perfect. Joe writes, sorry, John Cena. Why are you apologizing to John Cena? Tony, Arn is straight gangster. You're damn right he is. That was some really good stuff. Swizz, don't want to interrupt, but I think Sammy versus Bobby Fish was announced during Rhodes to the Top. What?
They were going to cut back to Sammy in the ring.
Don't switch.
No, hold on.
Show.
Hold on a second.
Don't
hold on a
switch
second.
to
They
show.
said during the show during the first commercial break of Road to the Top, they were going to cut back to Sammy doing an interview in the ring. So maybe that's an announcement. That's a good match. That's going to be a good match.
Well, Swizz just broke it here. It's been broken on LLW. Don't switch from YouTube. Don't leave YouTube. We're here. We're giving you the updates.
Yeah.
You don't even have to watch. Yeah. Look what we just did. Thank you, Swizz. Thank you, Swizz. Wait, Swizz. What the fuck are you doing looking at Twitter right now?
It's okay.
Our show's on. Oh yeah, no. You gave us a big favor. But that's interesting. Interesting. Real quick, let's talk about Bobby Fish.
Yeah, cool.
Cool.
He's going to be in the Opera Cup in MLW, and that tournament looks fucking great. And I'm excited to watch it on Vice TV. Their first show on Vice is next Saturday. Maybe we'll watch it and do the woos and whats / the news. You can't
maybe
lose.
after the FM. Oh, that's tomorrow.
Yeah,
FMW is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Let's go on to another woo. Do you have another woo for me, Royster?
I have a lot of like little woos, but you know it's a big woo, and this might get us into a what potentially, but I do want to bring this up because it's just so good, and we say this every week. What? We talk about it every week, but Miro is just so fucking good. Before we even talk about the match that he's in, he's just so good. His music is so good. His presence is so good. He is.
Isn't it a shame?
It's him that makes AEW special. Not just him, but like on a night for a show that was dedicated to Brody Lee, he makes AEW special the way that Brody Lee made AEW special, where he has a special kind of presence. He's a big guy with a lot of size who's really athletic and can work with anyone of any size, have a great match. It's fantastic. And I'm sorry that he lost. That's a bummer, but I hope his next feud is with Malachi Black.
Yeah, that'd be great. I would love a Malachi Black versus Miro fight, but I'm just more. Let's talk about the match then. Yeah. Let's talk about the match. Is that a woo or a what?
It's a mwah. Yeah. I thought it was a really good match because Miro's fantastic. Yeah. And Sammy is also very good, but my number one issue with Sammy, before we get into the match, it happened. Look, we did a little inside baseball here. You and I went to a local Texas indie for a long period of time and watched Sammy wrestle on every show, and all Sammy would do is just scream "fuck you" at his opponents and give them the finger, and I hated him because all he did was curse at them. And then he would go up and do like a moonsault, and he'd be like, "I'm crazy," and it's like, you just did a moonsault, who cares? And he did it. It slipped out. He's supposed to be this big baby face who's going to overcome the odds and beat this big guy and avenge his friend. He's standing on the top rope, and he says, "Fuck you," and gives the guy the finger. I'm like, you're a big baby face. Don't do that.
Yeah. Well, I just don't think he's a likable person. He's an unlikable person. Like, he's a bad babyface. He looks like a creep. We've talked about this on the show. He looks like a creep. Play into the creep character. Be a creep. You have this crazy eyes and crazy smile, and you just like, I just don't think, I don't want, and also the feud sucked. The feud fucking sucked. Oh, he's going to buy Fuego a car now. God damn it. God damn. That's a terrible fucking way to build for a championship match. And he won, and like, oh, Fuego gets a car. Good night, everyone.
Yeah, I think AEW does this thing where, again, and it might be, I don't know. I know big matches in Japan, right? Like I know like the big matches that everyone watches, but I don't follow on a weekly basis, and I don't know like the history of All Japan in that much detail. So I don't know if maybe this is how they do it. But AEW tends to do this thing where it's like this person's going to win the title, but within the last 3 weeks or so, they haven't had major victories in order to like prove that they're worth a title shot. You know, like Sammy's fighting Miro to defend his friend, but what matches has he won recently that warrants him getting a shot? They do that often.
Honestly,
and I don't like
I forgot.
it.
Yeah. You're 100% right, especially for you, like you said, a place that's supposed to be big on wins losses. He just comes out of nowhere to avenge his friend.
Yeah, it's tricky.
Oh my god, we got some things here. Don't you people have phones? Lol. Tony, you're being silly. Of course we have phones. We need both your phones and your computers on this to up the viewership. S writes, I confirmed on Twitter, multitasking. Bobby Fish rules. I saw my indie show a few years back. Great
stash.
Great stash. I agree with you there, S. Great stash. And I like Bobby Fish. I'm just not like overwhelmed by his presence,
I think it's going to be a good first opponent for him. He'll beat him.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. Swizz, I wish Miro won. I don't like Sammy at all. Miro looks good and looks believable. You're damn right he does. And it was too soon for him to lose. And I don't like Sammy at all either.
He's okay.
Right?
He's fine.
Well, you like Sammy. He's okay.
Not there yet.
He'd be better as a heel. Yeah. Tony, AEW needed a homegrown talent as champ, a la Darby. I don't get this homegrown talent thing because the company's been around for just about 3 years right now.
You could say that Kenny Omega is a homegrown talent. You could say the Lucha Brothers are homegrown talents. I mean, they signed the first month that the company was in existence, so they're technically also homegrown talents.
Sting is practically a homegrown talent.
Sting's having the best run of his career right now.
He really is. He's doing a great job, and for the least amount of work, it's pretty great. What else we got here? Someone who goes by Joe writes, someone who goes by Spanish God can never be a credible face. That's another thing. I hate the Spanish God gimmick. It doesn't fit his character or his look at all. I don't see him and see Spanish God. It really doesn't make sense.
I think he should get a better haircut.
Spanish God.
His haircut screams I'm a heel too, with this like flippy thing that he's got going on.
His teeth.
Got to bring his fiance around. His fiance makes him a baby.
You should propose to her every single time, just so we realize he's a person. Smizz writes, Britt Baker's a hometown champ. Just don't think it was time to leave Miro as champ. I agree, Smizz. I agree. Tony, I see Sammy as a transition champ. But who?
Great question.
To who? Because a transition champ needs to be like it's a short period of time to someone that. So if Miro's a heel, then you're saying that it's going to go to another heel. Which heel do you see winning the TNT championship?
Cody?
No.
Sure.
MJF. Because Darby just said, you've never won a championship. He's going to beat the shit out of Sammy, win the championship, and be like, look, here, I'm just as good as you. And that's going to be the feud.
Yeah, could be.
I think you're onto something, Tony. I see the S says the crowd popped hard for his win. The AEW fan base likes Sammy. The crowd wants him to be a face. S, like it just looks like an idiot.
I will say in S's defense, he's completely right. The crowd went crazy for it, and they made it really feel like a huge deal. Huge deal. Really good. They did a great job. Yeah. Whether it was the right guy in that position, who knows? But they did a great job.
They did. They really did. You're right. Smooth Race. I don't think the TNT title goes off wins and losses because we see like Lee Johnson getting a title shot and people outside the company get shots. That's a good point. It's a title that just has to be fought for on a night on TNT. Yeah. So I get that. We have to give them that. Tony, you let Sammy get the good win to transition to another worthy champ. I agree with that. We've already decided MJF. Sammy transitions to Colton Gunn.
I laughed when I saw that. So funny.
Swizz, stop it. Gun Club holds all the titles. Swizz, come on.
The Gun Club versus the Elite at Blood and Guts.
Blood and Guts versus the Elite.
The match, the War Games match, it's going to be the Gun Club versus the Elite. I love it.
Get out of here. Tony writes MJF, and I think we're in agreement, Tony. I think MJF is actually a good, smart move. Beat the shit out of Sammy, drop him back down the ladder. You can't have MJF beating Miro.
No, no. I think
You can't.
Darby and MJF feud for a little while. MJF wins the feud, then beats Sammy.
Yeah, I like that. I hate the homegrown talent. S writes, I hate the homegrown talent thing. Does anyone complain about the WWE signing everyone? Does complain that do complain that they don't have a homegrown talent? I disagree that the next TNT title is going to MJF. I think the MJF Darby feud transitions to an MJF CM Punk feud. I don't disagree with that, but I do think, honestly, what
Okay.
about this? Hear me out. MJF beats Sammy. We're gonna do MJF beats Sammy. MJF and Darby have this feud, this back and forth feud, but somehow like a Darby gets elevated, gets bumped up, something gets transitioned away. CM Punk then faces MJF. CM Punk wins the TNT title. CM Punk should have the TNT title, and he's just facing all comers. And I think that'd be a cool thing for CM Punk to get, win, beat MJF, have this cool little thing where he's having these dream matches, random matches. He gets to have and gets to elevate all this new talent. He wants to do that so much. This is a great opportunity. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I was thinking the TNT title on CM Punk. Do you remember when? Do you remember ECW when Rob Van Dam was the TV champion and he was the TV champion for like 2 years? He was just the TV champion forever.
Yeah.
They could do that with Punk. He's just the champ forever. He fights everybody. He beats everybody, and then the guy, whoever the guy is, finally beats him, whoever that is. But also, we're talking about all these people, but where the heck is Ricky Starks? That's what I want to know. Where the heck is Ricky Starks?
Man, oh my God. Talk about a pillar. That dude's
Yeah.
a fucking pillar. That dude is fucking Sammy Guevara, where Sammy Guevara wants to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. If I'm so upset. I'm so upset that
I'm
you
sorry.
said that because I'm sure there's a little bit of an internal rivalry between Ricky Starks and Sammy Guevara because they come from the
Sure.
same area. They come from Inspire. They
Yeah.
come from Texas, or he's from Louisiana, but they wrestled in Texas. I bet Ricky Starks is just like, I want that fucking belt.
Yeah.
Ah, man. He's got the stupid FTW belt.
I
So
don't know why
angry.
he's not wrestling.
We got a few more comments. We have to get more.
We're
give me
diving
another
in.
woo. We're gonna get
Yeah.
to some comments in a second.
Let's see. You know, this is like a
I have
this
two
is like
more
a
woos.
quick silly woo. Anytime at the beginning of the show when they talk about all of the matches that are going to be on the show, generally it involves John Moxley, but there's always a 6-man that I'm like, why is this here? What does this? And then I see the match and I'm like, oh, that's a lot of fun. This match is going to be like 7 minutes and it's just going to be a good time. Those matches are always fun. That match was a woo for me, and I love that they're continuing this trend. Like Moxley and Kingston are obviously having a really good time together, and they joke around and they have fun in the ring, and it makes me laugh. It makes the viewers laugh. And if this was the WWE, they'd be having them do like terrible scripted sketches in the back where like they're at a bar and they can't get the right drink, and what do we do here? But instead they're just having fun, beating the fuck out of people in the ring. And I always like those matches. Those are a good time. And Bear Country's cool.
Yeah, that's my issue with the match. That's why I got a what for me. It's because I like those matches. I like those matches where you just beat people up. I like a good squash match, especially with those three. But I feel like why put Bear Country in that position when you want them to be taken seriously? You'd like for them to be. They're the most different looking tag team that you have. The most different, most credible looking tag team. If you just saw them all lined up, all the tag teams, you'd be like, oh, those people would eat everyone alive. You know, like really, like truly, they look like crazy bear people. And so why put them in this match in this position? What I would have loved, and which I think they should have done, if they put them in this match, have Bear Country see this guy getting his ass whooped and be like, fuck this, we're leaving. And they just walk out.
Yeah.
Don't let them get like knocked out of the ring by suplexed by Eddie Kingston. I hate that. I hate that. That's what
That's fair.
Me. Do you agree
I
with this?
don't disagree with that. I think AEW focuses on who gets the pin or who takes the pin, and it looks like Green took the pin, which was good, and Bear Country just kind of split. But I completely understand where you're coming from. Yeah, absolutely. And Tony brings up a good point too that we'll get to in a minute.
We're also gonna let's just get to some comments because we got a troll in our midst. Tony writes, Hangman beats Omega to get beat by Miro. Very interesting. I would love Miro to move up the ranks like that, but who knows? Swizz, you guys got to do some fantasy booking videos. We should. We should
One
do some
day,
fantasy booking videos.
Patreon.
That's a great idea. Thank you, Swizz. Tony, TEW wrestling game is fun. Lol. What is that?
It's like a booking generator game. I used to play EWR, Extreme Warfare Revenge. This is the new version of that. Total Extreme Warfare, I think.
Interesting. Oh, interesting. Smwiz, Bear Country is too cool to be getting battered. You're damn right, Smwiz. They should be battering. They should. I would love a match, a serious match with them versus Eddie Kingston and Moxley. That would be awesome. That's when you suplex Bear Country. You don't suplex Bear Country in a squash match against them. You squash them too. Very upsetting. Tony, but the 6-man stole from the women.
Yeah.
You're damn right. This 6-man tag match did not deserve to be in here because they could have had another match in there, a good match. We got our Jared Kaiba. Bruh, I'm the best troll ever. 2 nerds be loving trolls. You're damn right we do. Bring it on, you son of a gun. Swizz, I think the 40 minutes of the start of Just Elite members stole more from the women. That is a good point, too. There was a lot of the Elite in there, which I wasn't mad at, but it could have been done in a backstage segment, right?
Yes.
The Elite promo. There's some good stuff from that, but like, you're 100% right. That should have been it. Okay, I'm just gonna. Boy, we got a lot of things going on now. We're gonna have to just 2 nerds living with a mama. Lol. That's about.
Oh, that's really good.
Okay,
S is right. Bear Country and JD Drake.
Bear Country and JD Drake for trios
Love
champions.
That's really good. That's really good.
That's a pretty good thing. Well, we got to move on before, man. We got burner accounts for days. Do you have any other? I have one more.
Yeah, go for it.
I have one more. At first, it was a what? It was a definite what? Dark Order and Orange Cassidy versus House of Hardy. Definite what? Because it was a mess. It was an annoying match. There was this friction of them beating up, but then everything changed in the middle when John Huber's wife, Brody Lee's wife, comes out with -1, and they create some order in there. They get them working back together. She knocks some sense into what's his face, Evil Uno, and it was, I think, a really good comeback match. And John Silver really had a cool comeback there. I just love John Silver, and John Silver there needs to be something done with him.
I agree. Yeah, I 100% agree. I just think, I think they're there. I want to see more Dark Order. I want to see more Silver and Reynolds. I want to see more Uno and Stu. Like, I want to see them have a feud. I want to see those two. I just want to see them wrestle each other, you know? I think it was a good match. I think the Amanda thing was really good. I always get a little nervous when, like, someone comes out who's not, although she was a wrestler. She trained as a wrestler, so I guess she's been in front of a crowd before, so she kind of knows. That's how they met. They met when they were both training to be wrestlers.
I didn't know that. Yeah. That's pretty interesting. Because honestly, she's got a cool look to her. She's got a real good intense eyes, and she really looked like she took care of business. Wouldn't mind her as a general manager.
That's a good call.
Wouldn't mind her as a general manager. But yeah, I thought that was a good way to end that match, right?
I think so too. I thought it was really good. Yeah, I thought it was a really nice moment. That comeback is an all-timer. That comeback was really, really great.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Well, before we go to the what's, let's just get
Swizz brought something really good up.
Get your band fingers ready, dudes. I think Roy is already on.
Yeah, I was distracted by it because I was trying to get rid of that. Yeah.
Good job. We had to get our friend. Man, he got burner accounts for days. We got hit by this guy. We keep getting hit by this guy. S writes, my girlfriend came home during the Dark Order match and asked me what was happening. I was literally choked up, had some tears when I explained it to her. It gave me feels. It did. Oh, man, you're damn right, S. And good for you. Good for you. And hell yeah to your girlfriend for listening to you talk about wrestling. I can't get it done. My partner won't let me talk about it. No, she will, but it's not a big deal. Swizz, well, they've announced the Casino Ladder match at the 2-year anniversary show. So Hangman could return and win and receive the title shot.
That was actually in my notes. I was going to ask you who do you think should win, and that I was hoping it was Hangman, and he was going to win.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm fine with that.
That's very funny. No, but I agree. That's a good call. And I think Tony agrees. Good call, Swizz. And now we have Losers Review Wrestling. Y'all living with yo mama?
My dude. My dude.
Dude,
Anytime
come
you're in Austin,
on. I got
Texas,
so
come
many
on by.
burners, bruh. Oh, bless you, kid. Thanks for listening. I
Yeah.
appreciate you. But let's keep it civil. Let's
Yeah.
keep it civil. Let's bring it back into wrestling. If you got something to talk about, let's talk
Yeah.
about it. Let's just be trolls for trolls. Troll the
Yeah.
show. Troll
Also,
the show
thanks
with
for you
us.
getting those viewership numbers up.
Woo! Get more of your burner accounts on here watching, bro. Royster, give me your biggest what of the evening.
Oh boy, I don't really have like a big what. I have a lot of like huh and a lot of
Sure.
like what was it?
Give me one of
LBO
yours.
Leo Rush. I thought
Sure.
that was interesting.
Thought he
Yeah, I thought he
retired.
retired too.
Leo Rush has retired more times than Terry Funk, and he's only 22.
It's a shame because he
The kid's 18 years old.
he's a good wrestler, but I can't help because of his voice. All I hear is him with a microphone chanting Lashley,
Hyping up Bobby Lashley.
Lashley. That's all I hear.
I like
Yeah,
him in that role.
I
That's a
think
good
he's
role.
good. I think it's a good time. At first, I had a what for Justin Roberts' suit, and then I realized that it was purple because of Brody Lee, and then I liked it.
Oh,
But at
sure.
first, I was like, "Why you got this purple suit? What's the deal?"
What are you doing with that suit, bro? That's a good what. I have a what here. Andrade in the back having the same exact promo he had the past several weeks, only without Chavo. Where's Bach?
Yes. However, did you hear the end of it?
He wants the face for the
That's
triple
exciting
A
because
tag
they're going to bring
titles.
in. There's going to be a lucha match. I think we established that you feel indifferently towards the lucha libre style at times.
No, I think Andrade is very good. I think there's a lot of great luchadors. I feel like they have a tendency not to sell,
Sure.
which it makes it hard for like lucha libre is hard to have a different match. Like it a Japanese strong style wrestler could have a match with a British wrestler. An American wrestler could have a match with
Yeah.
a Japanese
Yeah.
style. Like there's a lot of cross styles with all of them besides lucha libre, which it feels like it's a style that
Yeah.
doesn't sell for the most part because they're all superheroes and they work the opposite side of the body. All other forms of wrestling work the left side of the body. They all work the left, except luchadors. They work the right. And so, like, there's a lot of bungling in there, and if you're not paying attention, it just feels awkward. So you're interested in that? Who do you think it's going
So
to be?
there's a rumor going around. I don't know how quickly they can do it, but former Ring of Honor champion Roosh is going to be a free agent soon, and Roosh and Andrade are best friends. They have a long history together in Mexico. So Roosh and Andrade versus the Lucha Brothers would be really cool and really exciting. That's what I would like.
Yeah,
But
I agree with
he
that.
also said, though, I think he said, I don't know if he said a pair of luchadors or he might be bringing in his own guys, and then that might be a trio against Pac and Penta and Phoenix as well. So who knows?
Yeah, or he could team with the hottest heel in the game right
Did you see
now.
Swizz's comment? Because that's what Swizz just said.
I just saw it. I was gonna say it, but then I saw Swizz's comment. Great job, Swizz. Let's get to some of these things. Joe writes, "Burner boy, go back to your basement. You are winning at life."
Joe, it's all right.
Let's not troll the trolls.
Yeah, it's all right.
Let's not troll the trolls. We want his viewership. We really do. Leo Rush seems like it could be Big Money Matt. It seems like it could be like the Big Money Matt. Honestly, I prefer Leo Rush being Big Money Matt than Big Money Matt. Big Money Matt screams worst years of TNA.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that. You're not wrong about that.
It seems like the worst, most boring years of TNA, and that entire stable feels like it. Right
Yeah.
now. That entire
Yeah.
stable. And then Swizz wrote, he could team with Big Ric Flair. He is the hottest heel in the game. Rick is only tagging with his lawyer nowadays. Oh no! Here we go. Here we go. I have one other what, and it's I wish FTR was just called Top Guys.
Oh, that's good.
Why aren't
That's
they called
good.
Top Guys? They keep saying it. FTR means nothing. It's stupid. It's too alliterative. There's too many alliterative things in here. Not alliterative, abbreviated. They have too many abbreviated FTW, FTR, MGF, FCC. I don't know, but like they have too many things. Why not just do Top Guys? Top
Top Guy's
Guys
a
is
good
great.
name. But would that get confused with another woo that I have? With the American
Men
Top
of the
Team?
Year? Oh, sure. Let's talk American Top Team or Men of the Year. Which one are they
So
called?
the two of them are Men of the Year, but they are now associated with American Top Team. So maybe they'll just change their name to that, and I'll be happy. Um,
Sure. What's your what about
my
that?
what is that there's too much ball talk. I'm tired of Kenny has no balls. I'm tired of Chris Jericho's balls. Too much balls. Keep it in the WWE and keep it off my TV. You like
Honestly,
it.
I liked the balls of Jericho.
Balls,
You're all swinging from the balls
balls
of
of Jericho is
Jericho. That's
funny. Yeah.
awesome. He actually killed it, and then Scorpio and Ethan just
Ethan did a
yelled.
great job.
And
I thought Ethan was
this
fantastic.
this is a backstage segment for days. This is made for YouTube. That's what this was. It was not necessary. That's this and the Eddie Darby Mox versus Bear Country and someone that was all could have been filled by women.
That's not untrue. And you know what? If you're unafraid to do six mans with Moxley and Kingston and that don't matter, then why not just do six woman matches? Just saying.
But why just jam them together? Let's just have
That's a real match.
yeah, but no one gets over. No one really gets over. There's no win-loss record. There's no real story told. I feel like if I were a wrestler, I'd be like, and most wrestlers feel like this in other companies where they're in those big tag. They're just like, oh, they didn't know what to do with me.
Sure. Sure.
It's just a lack of thought. It's literally a last stitch. Oh, let's just jam a bunch of women in this segment because we're low on our quota.
Yeah, but it's not about being low on the quota, though, necessarily. I mean, Moxley and Kingston and Darby aren't jammed in because they're low on some type of quota. I mean, sometimes you just got to have a match. Give me a match.
Yeah, but well, there's an interesting point here. Let's put where Smiz wrote Ethan Page saved that segment by shutting up the crowd. Crowd was ruining it. I guess you and Smiz are on the same team here. You really like your
I
Ethan
really
Page.
liked, by the way,
Uh,
when Dan Lambert calls Tony Khan Man. I think that's funny. That's really
so
good.
Dan Lambert is
Yeah.
legit. I'm liking him. He has no quit in him. But Tony wrote the roster is getting too big. Now I don't think so. I just think they want to do the same thing WWE does, is where all our top guys are on all our shows. Why not have a week where there is no Darby? Why not have a week where there are no Young Bucks? Why not have a week where just like make them more special, make it more exciting, give these other people more of a chance to become stars by being on this show, and they have plenty of them. They have plenty of wrestlers that aren't being featured. Give them more of a chance so that they are then on par with these other people. You know?
Yeah, I don't think they rotate people out enough. Like every
Yeah.
week, they're always missing two or three top people. Like this week, there was no Malachi Black, as an example. There were a couple other people who maybe they were missing, but they should shuffle people out a little bit more and open up another segment for women. Again, we differ on the importance of these pre-recorded videos. And I think the videos are more impactful than like a quick interview segment in the back. I think that Ruby Soho, Britt Baker promo was actually really impactful and really important because it establishes that Ruby Soho tried her best. She lost. She recognizes that she has to go back down to the bottom and work her way back up again, and that's what she'll do. I think that was really impactful. I think, like we had already talked about, a huge woo for me, a huge woo for me was the Sheeta Deeb build. I thought that was really impactful.
It was great.
And the other one, too, the one with Nyla, Thunder Rosa, and Jade, because that's building to a match on Rampage that they're going to have. They all had purposes. It wasn't just like, I'm here to fight.
I'm not saying that they have purposes, and oh, it's true. I like when you say that. I'm not saying they don't have purposes, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't have been there. I'm just saying that shouldn't be a placeholder for the women's spot. You know, that shouldn't be like that's a woman's segment. That's not a woman's segment. I just feel like that's just very like it's literally not, like it was great 60 seconds. That's what
Sure.
it was. You
Sure.
know, and so it combined those videos, probably 3 minutes.
I completely agree. I think there should be more matches, but I'm saying that those videos weren't on there just to be on there. They all had a purpose, and they were all building towards something, future women's matches.
I'm not saying that the AEW is as cold as callous as like they're just filling a quota, even though I did say that. But like that's what it is with the
100%.
matches. That's how it feels with
Sometimes,
the matches.
but they all have
All
a
the
story
times.
though.
But every single time. It's not sometimes. It's every single time. There is basically one match, one women's match on a
Yes, I
card.
agree with that, and they need to have more women's matches. But what I'm saying is, it's not just a thrown together match because we need to have a women's match. Every
That's
women's match
fine.
has a story going into it. It may not be the best story, but they all have some type of story going into it.
But because there's one match, it's very easy to have a story where there's just one match a show. The thing is, it is a quota, and it's very. If they didn't have one, if they, I'd be, but like, yeah,
I agree.
it just feels
I
very.
agree. It's very formulaic. I totally understand that, but I think that where I'm coming in is that they at least put forth the effort to have it be a match that has something to it, rather than just like this person versus this person because we need to have it. It's like we're gonna have this person versus this person because she threw her out of the ring at this time, or because this person interfered in that. Like, there's at least something happening. That's all I'm saying.
If our bar was the Attitude Era, sure, but the past 5 6 years, I feel like wrestling is in a place where it's much bigger than that. It's much beyond that, and just having a story for the women isn't enough.
I agree with that. I completely agree with you. Again, I do, but I also think like I yeah, you're right. You're right. I was just gonna say, and this isn't an excuse, but like with like let's say like Raw and SmackDown, it's the same 7 or 8 women every week. AEW is at least trying to like bring in different women and have different matchups on a weekly basis. Isn't an excuse match a week. They need to have more matches. There needs to be more segments for women. There needs to be second, third matches for women, because also they're all talented. In my head, while we were doing this, while I was watching the show and I was thinking of the women that were on the show, remember we talked about on the News You Can't Lose every Saturday, we talked about
Every Saturday.
the TBS title and how that's going to be a women's title and the different type of tournaments they could have and how they could do it. And you had mentioned an 8-woman tournament, and I was thinking, what 8 women could they have? They have at least 12 or 13 women who could conceivably be in an 8-woman tournament, and it could be a Dynamite knockout tournament. Both of them.
I have 8 women right here: Britt, Jade, Velvet, Swole, Layla, Statlander, Riot, Thunder Rosa, and Nyla.
And you're not even talking about Ryo Mizunami or Rio.
Not even talking about their I didn't mention Sheeta. I didn't mention Rio.
Yeah.
I didn't mention
Penelope Ford has come a long way.
Penelope Ford, Bunny.
Deeb, did you mention Deeb there?
Deeb. I love
Did you
Deeb.
mention Layla Hirsch?
Yeah, I mentioned Layla.
Oh, okay, never mind. But great.
Oh, I mentioned Layla first always. Swizz writes, I would agree, but I feel like we've seen a combination of Anna Jay, Ty Conte, Bunny, and Penelope the past 3-4 shows. I agree.
We have, however, it's all different matchups that led to the tag team match this week on the Brody Lee Tribute Show for Anna and Ty.
But why are they the only ones getting matched?
Exactly. I completely agree. I completely agree.
Rather than any of the other women. I agree, Smuzz. I agree. Do you have any other what's for the night?
Ooh. Yeah, just too many ball comments. Did I already say that?
Yeah, a lot of ball comments
too many
today.
balls. I don't like it.
Maybe Loser Reviews Wrestling has a thought on all those ball comments.
He probably loves it.
I love, honestly, the fact that he made a burner account that says Losers Review Wrestling is amazing. Yeah. And it's honestly one of the best.
I like that a lot more than all of his other names.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was it. That was the other big what's for me. I have a lot of small woos.
Jesus.
What?
No, I just looked at some of his old other burner accounts.
Yeah, did you not see that? You didn't see that? You didn't until now?
No, I saw it. But the thing is, like, I want to interact with the troll. But if you start doing shit like that,
you're cut.
It's impossible.
You're cut from the squad.
It's impossible. Yeah. All right. I think we had a great show tonight.
Yeah.
I think we had a really positive
show.
I
just want to rattle off my little woos?
Give your baby woos.
CM Punk on commentary was fantastic. Kenny Omega no-selling Bryan Danielson's music, fantastic. Not every heel needs to be shocked when someone's music plays. Again, I think Ruby did an excellent job. I love when the rankings actually mean something. And the only time that they ever mean anything is when someone says, I understand that I lost, so I have to go to the bottom and work my way back up again. great. Justin Roberts' suit, fantastic. The FTR promo was good. Excalibur, excellent commentary tonight. When Miro started tearing off the turnbuckles in the main event, I was like, why is he doing that? That doesn't make any sense. Then Excalibur reminded us that that's how he beat Eddie Kingston at the pay-per-view. That's what a good commentator does.
That's good. That's smart.
JR got really grumpy at one point and said during the Dark Order match, he's like, when there's 16 people in a match, well, there needs to be more than one referee. Like,
sure, he did get definitely.
And then CM Punk said, well, JR, I can't do everything. Good job, CM Punk. Way to break the tension, buddy. Great job.
Sure.
What else?
See it?
What do you got?
I just CM Punk pissed me off one point.
What happened?
Tonight. The only women's match on the show, and he immediately comments on how they look.
Did he really?
His first comment is just like, and they got to be the best looking members of House of Hardy, right?
Don't like it.
And then all the commentators got silent. And then everyone got real awkward. It was very interesting.
I do love that Ty Conti, Anna Jay, Bunny, and Penelope Ford matching gear. I love when people tag together and have matching gear. I love it.
Yes, I do too. We got Chica Mark saying no pizza party. Believe me, there's a pizza party. We can't say where because there's someone in here that doesn't belong in here. We can't talk about him right now. We got my mama always told me, boy, count yo nerds.
That's what your mom told you, to count the nerds?
That's what your mom told you? Why is she telling you that? She told me to better shop around.
That's right. That was all I had. I mean, I think Rampage is going to rule this week. I'm really excited
very excited for Rampage. Rampage is going to rule. We're all in agreement on that. Thank you all so much for joining us at Loser Leaves Wrestling. Make sure to tell your friends about us. Let them know. Don't let all your friends know, because some of them we don't want here. But you let them know, and thank you so much for joining us today. Check out the podcast. Check out the Instagram. Check out the TikTok, and let us know what kind of content. Because I'm doo-doo. Swizz, Rampage review? Is this a live one, Royster?
It's not. It's not a live one. We're going to talk about it on Saturday. Who's and
what? We're going
what's.
to talk about it on Saturday. Check out the news you can't lose. Saturdays at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Thank you all so much. I told all my alt accounts. I told all my burner account friends. Let them know.
Great.
Let them know. Tune in, but better tune in, though.
Yeah.
Better tune in, though. Thank you all so much. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye. Thank you guys so much.
Chica, Marks, you're going to invite to the pizza party. Always to the pizza party.